Back in the 1980s, my dad was the manager of a Kmart. There was a lady who accidentally locked her baby in the back of the car and her keys inside with it. She had come into the store because no cell phones back then and she wanted them to call a locksmith. This was Texas in July or August, so really hot really fast. The locksmith and police get called. Baby was crying and in distress while they waited on a locksmith or the police, and everyone was getting really nervous, but the mom wouldn't budge on them damaging the car even to save her baby's life. People were saying your kid could die. And she said they'd be fine and to wait. She said she would sue anyone who damaged her car and it was brand new. That's when this large, way over 6 feet Texan walks up to the lady and says, "Do you know who I am?" The lady gets incredulous and says of course she doesn't. He then says good, and then with his cowboy boots kicked in the front window of the car and walked away while she shrieked, and all the people gathered tried to help the baby. Cops and ambulance showed up later and she wanted the guy arrested, but no one knows who he was and he had vanished at that point. My dad was pretty sure he was friends with at least a few of the workers, but yeah, on that day no one knew who he was. Dad's got a bunch of stories from his old days of retail hell, but that's my favorite and I've heard it many times over the years. Mom confirmed it, if that helps, because she had shown up for lunch with Dad and saw all the cop cars and ambulance that had arrived. Down in the comments.
They should have arrested her. As a mother with a new, to me, car that I love, I would have been begging people to bust a window or whatever it took to get my kid out of the death trap. I would also guess that a window would be pretty easy to replace and it would look like new again after. I would have smashed it in myself if I could. A side window is a lot easier to replace than a front window, but I would imagine that the lonesome cowboy picked the front one for precisely that reason. Thank you, kind stranger.